Morning, fellow zombies. Are we alive yet? Are we awake yet? Are we emotionally screwed up and sleep deprived? I know I am half the time anyway. Turning on national news and hearing the commentators talk about old 45 gas bag in his mouth going off and rallying up a base that seems to be wanting democracy to fail, and yet they want democracy for themselves, but they don't want democracy for themselves. Because they sure as hell don't understand what democracy is all about. See, right now I can see that my damn clock. It's about 3:14 West Coast time. It's the 18th of Monday, 2023. The Weaver John C. Roseman, California. And this is my header that I always put on these tapes to let people know time, date, and who said these kind of things, because I want things on record. And the record is, I'm seeing and I'm hearing that all these damn Trumplicans out there want the end of the world. They want their democracy, but they don't want their democracy. And they don't even understand what democracy is unless it jumped up and bit them in the ass. There had been disagreements of what they think democracy is supposed to be. We are a republic. We're a democratically elected republic. We're a representative republic. But we still are democratic, we keep calling ourselves. Because we can vote. And the vote means you're democratic. You're for democracy. Uh, in a democracy, the vote's supposed to count for something. And we are representative. We vote in representatives and electors who are supposed to be voting in the people we want. And we have people representing us all over the place. We consent to be governed. But how is it that when you have a leader supporting people who want a democracy broken down, I've always said it for years, that they don't want to see our country destroyed. But these Trumplicans are agreeable to that. They want to see it that way. They want to see our country broken. They want to see that the political party system should be abolished and there should be one party. And they keep saying, what do you want? One party, one rule? What, you Lord of the Rings now? A might of an authoritative fist is enough for you? And what happens when you happen to see the jackboots coming in? You already got them. They just don't have to worry the usual outfits. Only because we put them up there. And then pretty shortly, we become just like Venezuela. We become like Cuba. We become like Russia. We become somebody else's puppet. I know. Not America! Not America! Yeah, America falls. America falls. I don't believe you. I don't care if you don't believe it or not. You're seeing it right in front of your face because you're making it happen. You guys don't understand. You guys don't want to understand. You guys want to be ignorant as hell. You want everything. Problem is, this is not an instant gratification place. The country was never made for instant gratification. We have to work hard for the shit we got right now. We gotta work. We gotta work hard for the stuff that we want. It's not automatically handed over to us. We have to work for it. For the most part, anyway. When we had the Depression back in the end of the 20s and all the way through the 30s, yeah, we needed safety nets because all of our savings that we tied up in banks went away because of a bubble burst. And we had a worldwide depression. The ride was over. stocks fell, became worthless. People killed themselves over it. And the economy of a lot of countries plunged. It's history. Look it up. We had to have safety nets for those who worked very hard for their retirement. And there have been a lot of people who invested in the stock market because they thought it was riding like crazy in the 20s. It should ride forever, right? Nope. Nope. Ride ended. And there was no safety net. What do you think they called it the Roaring Twenties? We also had crooks out there thieving on people left and right. Even worse. But that wasn't the only crash we had. The only major one we always remembered. There had been other crashes decades prior. History. Read. Understand. It doesn't take a collegiate education for that. It just goes to a library or do some fact checking and understand. And understand how the economics were for each country that you had these military coups happening. Russia was constant in there. They had royalty trying to contain an entire country, and then they had a coup in that one. I think right before World War One. It's Stalin. So we had Lenin before that. We're following the ideas of Karl Marx, who wanted a classless society. Just a working guy, ruled by a small group of people, but no working guy would have everything that he worked for. Didn't happen, did it? As long as you put people in power with the guns, they hold on to power because they will use guns to hold on to power. What do you think? They had violent revolutions happening. They lost royalty. China had many emperors. They had many emperors and many dynasties, changing hands, changing powers left and right. They also had invasion from other countries into their homeland. Again, history. Japan was a feudal nation. They had many warlords. Again, history. The island nation of Cuba. You know, if we didn't have the Spanish during the time of the colonialism going on, going through the Caribbean islands, would have they not kept their own society? I'm not blaming everything on Spanish, but we humans have a tendency of going to different places and trying to conquer one way or another. We call it manifest destiny in ourselves. We think we're morally superior to everybody else, therefore we're going to take and deal with it. I look at the ancient history that we had. Babylonians, Thessalonians, Greek, Roman, Mongolian. And empires rise and fall. History. But I guess people don't want to hear about it, read about it, learn about it because they want to be ignorant about things like that. I'm not saying it's okay, because this is what happens when you keep failing to learn things. These things have a tendency of biting you in the ass. History has a way of repeating itself over and over and over again. I try to put things into context in my head of everything else I keep saying these days. All the different elements. We are so screwed as a species, it's not even funny. We're faced with another challenge for this particular election cycle. People may laugh and joke and drink their beers about this one. Keep screaming, America, America. No, it's America with a capital A. I think Donald Trump is going to be the guy to save them all. No, he's going to be the one to put them in all. You guys don't trust the Democrats. Fine. You're going to trust the Republican Party who keeps screwing you over one way or another? Lie, cheat, steal elections? So produce the evidence. The evidence was right in front of your face. That's why we have the trials happening right now. They kept saying that there was a crime family, that the Bidens were involved in a lot of crime. If that's the case, where was the government after them all those years? If Biden was in charge of a crime family, why now? Well, because a 45 gas bag is going through his case. Might as well put Biden through it, huh? And they keep forgetting something. If they happen to impeach him, it takes the Senate to throw his ass out. I mean, yeah, they can indict him. They can indict a ham sandwich in the House on this one. Problem is, Democrats ain't going to go for it. They're going to fight like hell on this one. But the Senate still has to throw his ass out, and they're not ready to do that. And not to mention, if President Biden is tossed, you still have Kamala Harris. Now, how long is that going to take to get her out? You think it's going to be easy? They forget, and they don't care. They want to look good with their constituents. They want to look good for their voters at this point over here. Tell them that they're doing something. Yeah, they're doing something, all right. They're screwing things up left and right. And liars keep being put through the crucible of the justice system. Even civil lawsuits. The guys are lying their asses off. They're getting fined left and right there, and they're crying baby about it. But I don't have the money for it. But it's their fault. It's always their fault. The followers will take that as a hint of harming others in the name of that. And they want a coup in this country? They want a civil war in this country? Is that it? Are we going to be having people marching up and down with weapons ready to do damage on others? Do we really want the form of jackboots? Seriously, do we want the form of jackboots up and down this place? Matching uniforms? We'll put the flag of America on matching uniforms and start dividing and deriding people left and right. Because this is America. Land of the free, home of the brave for only just a few of the elitism. And everybody else can go screw themselves. How long our country is going to last? We'll be going into anarchy during that time. History keeps telling us, history keeps teaching us, but we don't want to learn about it. We got the dictators out there who want to see America fall. 247 years down the drain because we got stupid and lazy. And again, I said it before in my other videos, I blame the voters because they're dead, dumb, and stupid. They don't want to learn. They want things instantaneous. And I'm talking about the older generation. I mean, the younger generation are still molded. They're still trying to understand what's going on. Some of them are still having faith in an orange gas bag that they can't even see what's going on in front of them. You have the lone wolves out there who want to do the bidding because they think they're going to get curried favored. They're going to get curry favor here. We want more thoughts. We want more prayers. More thoughts. More prayers. More thoughts. More prayers. But the action is we get more bloodshed. We don't want to do what's hard. As a country, we should have been doing that a long time ago, but our generation and the previous generation got lazy. Let somebody else handle it. Let somebody else deal with it. It's not our time. But we want it now. Well, I tell them, but it doesn't work that way. That's how our country had been for the last 240 something years. And I know they're going to say, what are we? You got to be kidding me. We want it now. I don't care what happened back then. I want it now. Why? Because I do. And all the phrases and all the things that we've learned about our past presidents and current administrations back then and what the things we went through, it doesn't matter. No, who says anything about that? Who cares? I want it now. I want. And then what are you going to do? I will take. And then you're going to have somebody slump out in your head. Well, let's fight then. Let's have a civil war. If we really want this damn thing hammered out, we would have the debates in the streets over shit like this. Do you really want the country divided? Do you really want the states torn apart? Because legally they won't. They can't. Unless we're going to have another continuation of what happened back in 1860. And what the hell happened in 1860? Let's see. How many people did we got killed, massacred, slaughtered, shot to death, wounded? Some say it was for slavery, and others was just because they didn't like the North getting too popular, or actually too, whatever the South couldn't deal with it. Industrious? Expansive? We fought among ourselves, we fought among neighbors, family members. And then after that, after the 4-year slaughter ended, it just continued. We still hated. We still looked at each other with hatred. We never healed from it. We continued it. We were so damn divisive and derided in those days that we still continue it to this day. We blame the others. We don't want to accept responsibility. We don't want to be accountable. We don't want to be transparent. We just want the other guy to pay and shut the hell up. And that's what's happening. We're doing the same damn stuff right now. We don't care about what happened to you. I only care what happened to me. I suffered. Deal with it. And I'm going to have retribution. You don't have to say it. Their actions tell it. Their attitude shows it. They tell each other that they think they know better. They don't. We're so damn screwed right now, it's not even funny. So here it is, 3:32 in the morning. The conversation continues. Are we going to continue with a country that's so divided and derided right now that we don't even recognize it, or are we going to try to come in together? The problem is we can't come together because we're so divided and derided. We can't accept that we're all responsible. Once more, I blame the voters because they don't want to accept it. They don't want to acknowledge that, yes, you have your own elected leaders out there who accept traitors, or actually people against our country, to be more loyal and trustworthy. Another armed dictator out there who's willing to maneuver. He's willing to have another country under his belt. The media people can talk about it this morning. They'll talk about it and talk about it among themselves like crazy. And they will, and the independents will follow suit. They'll tear them apart left and right and think what they know better. Am I ever the elitist? I am not that silver-tongued. Just put it into regular language right now. You keep listening to a lie of a politician who just doesn't keep up with the promises and had to sell off his soul just to keep his seat or became speaker, and then nearly a year later he crashes and burns because of the conditions he sets up, and yet we're supposed to praise this asshole, and he represents my district. But he goes off kissing an orange gas bag because he still wants the power. There's something about power, political power, so damn seductive and alluring. The people give it to you, therefore you think you're going to be the one who's going to be ruining their lives because you've just been given the authority. And now you got to have other followers armed to the teeth who want to share that power. And they keep forgetting that the more you keep trying to do this damn crap, the more it's going to get worse for yourself. How many empires have fallen? Power corrupts absolutely. You know what's going to be pissing off people a hell of a lot? Is when the slavery actually does kick in worse and worse. We get indentured people of our own citizens because we allowed it to happen. We allowed what we call the corrupt politicians. We'll be looking at the other guys. We can't even look at ourselves in the mirror on this one. We allowed it to happen because we voted the shit in. We all did. We agreed. We agreed force was the only way to keep the country together. And therefore, we had to force each other. We still screwed over. We screwed ourselves over. So yeah, when the election happens next year for 2024, we're either going to see democracy works or we're going to see democracy fail. We keep saying that the other guy's lying. The other guy's lying. This guy tells the truth. Until you see what the hell he's done. I don't care about that. This guy tells the truth. Don't even want to know what's going on. No! Why should we? Because we're destroying ourselves in the process. Who the hell you think you are? I thought I made that clear in my videos. Who and what it was. An observer seeing his own country being torn apart. An old fart going through a college system. Regrets that he'd never completed college and gave education a chance and a shot because different things happening. And now since I'm getting a lot more context to add to the perspective and to see a few things here and there, tries to share a bit of understanding, a little observational notes. And yeah, puts in his own commentaries. Probably going to be screaming at me, how come you haven't been running for office? Because I don't want it. I don't want it. Other people more qualified for it. I don't want the damn job. I won't even be able to afford to get to the job. I got too much of a mouth. But then again, People always feared intelligence. Here's the thing I kept noticing, that people always called me sheeple. Either you're sheep or people, or you're a mutant. You're a hybrid. You follow other things. Don't be a sheeple. No, I said I'm a black sheep, damn it. I'll follow, but I just got the coat different than yours. See, growing up, it wasn't exactly all academic, because I was also educated in how to be critically thinking without even realizing it. And try to compare notes in my head. So what happens when you read is also happens when you see other people's work and what they're talking about. Someone else's elitist vision, but then you try to apply it towards everything else, and it somehow makes sense. But people don't want to hear and see it. They don't. They don't want it. It scares the hell out of them that they have to be doing something about things. They have to be pushed and prodded into it. They want to be left alone. They say safety in numbers. Well, if you're into numbers, you're sheep because you're being led. They'll refer over to biblical times. They'll refer over to biblical material. And the material is, if you happen to believe in some of the holy texts that we have, and you believe of a person who we're going to be celebrating the birthday in about less than a week, then you understand that he had the role of being a shepherd. But we're black sheep. We don't care. We're being led over a cliff. We kept thinking that this guy is going to be the most peaceful, gentle form to listen to and to obey, because we read it in books left and right. But no, we don't want to be the sheeple. We want to be the rams. We think we know better. Fine. There are certain cultures that actually worship the ram head. And they don't even realize it, do they? And what meaning we put into the ram's head. The meaning of it. We think we know the holy text, but we don't. We are so screwed we don't even realize it. So it's going to be interesting next year, isn't it? We're going to see the fight continue. We're going to see the actual. We're going to see the actual happening. We're going to have people trying to confront each other and telling them that, we know better than you. We're better than you. And therefore we're going to thump on your ass. That's happening right now, even as we speak. As said before, and I'll say it again, I blame the voters because they're dumb and stupid. Or just probably dumb. It all covers the same damn thing anyway. It's repetitive. I'll just find another synonym for it. Another word that means the same thing or similar to it. Just to describe what kind of screwed up human beings we are. Why not? We won't accept responsibility for anything else. Not even our own actions or thoughts or words. Well, they blame the other guy for the shit that we're doing. For our own actions, for our own muscular activity, for our own verbal assaultage. Oh, we blame the other guy for our own deeds. It's his fault, her fault, it's its fault. It's their fault. It's not mine, even though I'm the one doing all the damage on them. It's their fault. We victimize the victim. This is the United States now. Deal with it. It only makes me wonder whether or not we actually deserve our country, our way of life, that we actually have over 247 years of activity of constant strife, of us trying to constantly build a nation. We've gotten fat. I know I'm fat. Medical condition. We're lazy. I'm not lazy. I worked my ass off. And we're dumb. Well, I'm not dumb. I've always been considered intelligent. I just haven't been able to show it as much.